Are you starting to feel the anticipation yet? We are 51 days from NFL kickoff and 38 from NCAA college football.
38? That's faster than the NFL. I didn't
That's
know that.
barely a month.
Yeah, just a few more Wednesdays.
Welcome for week's Goal Line Report, episode 9. We're coming at you here, almost at double digits now.
Yes.
We're here in July, but we're starting to see the tunnel, the light at the end, as football is getting closer and closer for us. It's almost training camp, it's almost preseason, it's almost season time here.
Yeah.
To fill the time right now, we're going to cover the other leagues that are playing games, and then we've put together our top 10
Wide
wide
receivers.
receivers that we anticipate for the upcoming season. So that's what we've got in store for this episode. And then if you like it, like, subscribe, check us out. We've got a lot of other little short videos that we put out on
Yeah.
YouTube too, like a preview of each team. We're going through those. Sam's working on like history cities of football cities
Yeah.
histories that he's exploring. So a lot of different things that we're putting out there. So definitely check it out. As far as today, I think one of the first things that we're looking at right now is the Canadian Football League, and so I
Yeah.
think that it warrants a moment to remember the team captain of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, who sadly passed away in a car accident
Yeah. On
on
Saturday,
Saturday.
around 9 p.m., I think.
So that was a very unfortunate event, and his family is in our thoughts and prayers,
Yes.
and his teammates. That's definitely something that they're going to carry with them for the rest of the season there.
He was a team captain. He was good at what he did.
Yeah, that definitely shows someone who's looked up to his teammates, respected him, and felt that he had a lot to contribute. And that was Jaden Dalk. But shifting from that, we do want to talk a little CFL. We had some games played, and I think you really enjoyed what you saw and thought that this was a good week for us.
Yeah, starting it off, the Lions, the BC Lions, but the Edmonton Elk, and the last time these teams fought, like 2 weeks ago, BC pulled off an upset by a little bit, like 12 points, I think it was. But Edmonton got their revenge in a low-scoring affair, 19-17, in a pretty decent game from what I saw. And then moving over to the second game, the Stampeders and Alouettes fought for the second week in a row, where Montreal pulled off another win against them, 38-32. And then in the third, Hamilton beat Toronto 24-23. Now there was a ton of wind there, and Toronto's kicker missed a field goal that would have won them the game in the final seconds, and they missed an extra point.
That's a tough way to lose.
Yeah, I from what I saw, people were very mad with the kicker. And then with the fourth game, that just happened last night, Winnipeg squeaked out a win in overtime against Ottawa 36-34.
Yeah.
So it
So
was a little interesting to see Ottawa in overtime, but people forget that Ottawa's been in every game, basically.
Yeah, so some interesting results here, and I think we can take a moment to look at each of them. So, like you mentioned, the Elks and Lions, they played a rematch. Lions were able to surprise them and give the Elks their first loss of the season a couple weeks ago,
Yeah,
but they weren't good enough to beat them twice. So, like you said, Elks came back with the lowest scoring game of the week. But they did what they needed to get it done, and that's what winning teams do. So I think that's what we're really seeing Edmonton finding different ways to get it done.
so I'm just gonna go to the standings real quick. So in the East Division, the Montreal Alouettes lead 5-1.
Yeah, after 2 wins in a row against the Stampeders, they're up to 5-1. That's pretty big.
Personally, I would put them as the best team right now. Even if I'm an Edmonton fan, I wanna say Alouettes are better. And then to the second place, the Tiger Cats, Hamilton Tiger Cats at 3-3 are second place, and then the Toronto Argonauts are 2-4, and the Ottawa Red Blacks are 0-6.
Yeah, I think we're seeing here that, I mean, obviously Ottawa is just on the wrong side every week, and the Argonauts are just similarly not good enough to get it done. And so they're losing games that they have chances to win. And so almost by default, the Tiger Cats find themselves in second place just because,
Even with the Bo Levi Mitchell injury, the East is just chaos right now. Alouettes are the clear favorite to win it, and they most likely will.
yeah,
I mean, we're one third there for games played, but Alouettes are definitely the best right now. And then going to the West, the Elks are 5-1, so the Edmonton Elks have been definitely crushing it. Then the Saskatchewan Roughriders have been in contention for the number one at 4-1, but they had a bye, so they didn't really get a chance. So they are 4-1, and I also heard that they signed UFL MVP finals Derek Roberson, who was a monster for the Defenders. And if you watch us,
yeah,
you know we cover the UFL.
yeah. So that's an interesting. Have you seen other players come over from the UFL to the CFL, or is he one of
Um,
the first ones that makes that leap for
I
us?
mean, spring and the like spring football and CFL have been big. Like there are other ones like even with the NFL, like Chad Ochocinco. There's been Johnny Manziel, Tyler Elgzema. There's a lot going
Yeah.
on between like football and Canadian football. But Tyler Elgzema, he is like I think he started for Winnipeg last year. He might still be starting. But he was the backup for Birmingham, and we didn't really get to see him at all because you had Crow playing good and then Thompson playing good, so you didn't get to see him. But I'm gonna continue with the West. Then in third, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are 4-2, and I don't fully believe this record at all. I don't think they're that good. And then going to the Stampeders are 2-4, and I would put them as better than their record suggests. And the Lions are 1-4, and the Lions are really a wild card, I guess. I don't really know where they're gonna finish because they're like all over the place. Like last year, I'm pretty sure they got second place in the West. But yeah, that'll do it for the standings in the CFL and wrap up our CFL segment here.
Well, did we want to look at how the
Oh
schedule is for
yeah,
next week?
so for next week, the Elks and Rough Riders, the top two teams in the West, play. So who do you have winning that?
That'll be an interesting one. I think it's going to be an emotional Rough Riders team. I think they're at home a Thursday night. I think that they've got a lot to play for, and I think that the Rough Riders are going to come out on top.
I believe so. And then going to the second game, Stampeders and Blue Bombers, and I say Stampeders win that.
Yeah, so from what you've said, you think the Stampeders are better than their record and the Blue Bombers are worse than their record, kind of
Yeah, the
is
Blue
how.
Bombers aren't very good.
So the wins they've had, you think aren't really a reflection of how good they are. It's kind of just like other teams making mistakes and
Yeah.
them just kind of falling into it. Okay, all right. I think the Blue Bombers win.
All
I think
right.
we'll see.
You
Lions and
can.
Argonauts, somebody has to win.
Somebody does have to, and I'm gonna give it to Lion.
Okay, all right. Argonauts continue their stretch of futility here.
And then Tiger Cats and Alouettes. So I think it's obvious who's gonna win that.
Yeah, I think Alouettes, and I think that
Yeah.
further distances themselves from the rest of their division. Could they claim the division at the halfway point?
I mean the East is a mess. Like the
That
Blue Bomb or not the Blue Bombers, but the Argonauts aren't good. Like at all. Ottawa is winless, and Hamilton doesn't have a good starting QB because he got destroyed.
I think I think barring injury, I think we could give them the division right now. I think that they're going to cruise to it.
I mean, obviously multiple teams make the playoffs from each division, but it's very clear that Montreal is the best team in the East. Um,
Yeah, fair enough.
so I guess that will wrap up the CFL segment.
Yeah, I think that's a good place for us. I think that does um,
Um,
wrap up what's been going on and what should be.
so then gonna transfer to the EFA. So the EFA had an interesting week. So they don't have a week 11. The whole league's on bye, and there are 2 weeks after that, and then the playoffs. But here for week 10, I believe it started off with the Nordic Storm taking on the Paris Musketeers, your Paris Musketeers,
Yeah.
and Nordic crushed them 41-3.
hmm
So I think it's very clear that whoever you pick is as your favorite sucked from then on because no one seems to be winning if they're your favorite.
I haven't had the best luck.
Nope. And then moving to the second game, the Raiders of Tyrol got a surprise upset in a 61-41 win against the Frankfurt Galaxy in a 102-point masterpiece.
So did somebody tell them that the season started 8 weeks ago, or did they think this was the first game of the season?
I think it was like, I don't know.
Like this is a team that's 0 and 7. It hasn't shown up all season, and then all of a sudden they put up 61. And Frankfurt's not bad.
And they
They
were at Frankfurt.
like Frankfurt was 3 and 4 going into the game, so that's that.
Frankfurt also started 0-2.
But since then, not a bad team. So for the
Eh.
Raiders to really just get a dominant first win,
I
they
mean, they scored like 40, I think, in the first half. Frankfurt wasn't scoring at all until the end.
yeah.
People were like, "Oh, they're gonna make a comeback," and I was like, "There's no chance." And then the final game of the week, Munich, my Munich Ravens, won again as they continue being undefeated at 8-0 when they win 48-12 against Prague. So it seems that I am the better person at picking better teams and that I have the best teams because you are not even close. I mean, I do have that little blemish with the Alpine Rams, but
Yeah, I followed you on that one. That did not work.
maybe it was a trick to get you another bad team. So I was asking around the EFA, like with the people in charge, and I found out that the top four teams of the six make the playoffs. So right now, 8-0 Munich would be number one, 7-1 Nordic would be number two. Number three would be the Frankfurt Galaxy at 3-5, and number four would be Paris Musketeers at 3-5. And then the Prague Lions at 2-6, and Raiders of Taiwan at 1-7 would miss. So that's what the playoffs look like right now.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem that unlikely that Paris or Frankfurt fall out and Prague gets in because Prague has been looking good. I mean, they had a horrible showing against Munich.
Yeah, that's very true. I think when you look at it, you see different tiers. You see clearly above the rest is
Yeah,
Munich and Nordic.
I
They,
mean, if you watched the EFL, or yeah, the EFL, European Football League from a few years ago, they expanded so quickly that like it wasn't that shocking to see like a 60 point like shutout. Like even Prague had a ton of shutouts in their final season with the ELF.
Yeah, as far as these six go, it's clearly Munich and Nordic, the two teams that have a chance at the
Yeah.
championship. They're the only two teams that have like points for and points against. They're just miles ahead,
Yeah.
or kilometers for Europeans. Munich. They've outscored their opponents by 193 points, and Nordic has outscored their opponents by 184. So those two teams just they're playing on easy right now.
Yeah.
And then you have the next tier, Frankfurt and Paris, who there's got to be four teams. Those look clearly to be the third and fourth. I mean, record-wise, Prague is the next team. They're 2-6. But when you look at it, they have been outscored by 160 points total in their 8 games, and two of those were wins. So that means they've got outscored by more than that in their 6 losses. Like that is just like historic proportions there. So
Yeah.
it's really hard to see that Prague being able to beat either Frankfurt or Paris to get into the top four. So I think our top four is pretty locked in here.
I mean, Prague's been looking amazing, especially their quarterback. Like, let me see, who did they beat? Oh, I'm gonna look at the scores real
I
quick.
mean, that's fair enough. I mean, if you look at the points, like they've scored as many points as Paris, they're not that far behind Frankfurt. It's just their defense is the worst. They've given up 320 points in 8 games. So I think that really tells you, that their defense is just not even giving them a chance. And so I think that's what we're
They
seeing.
so in week 7 they beat Raiders 45-44,
Hmm.
and then week 9 they beat Paris 36-35.
So their two wins are both by 1 point.
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, they've had a lot of bad games. Like they just put 12, 9 they put 36, 8 they were on bye, 7 they put up 45 and won that. 6 they put up 18 and got crushed.
So
5 they put up 13 and got crushed.
But I think what's worthy of note then is, and
One week they put up 9.
this is for any of the bottom four teams. If Paris is playing or Prague is playing Frankfurt, Paris, or Raiders, they're gonna make it interesting. I think pretty much anyone goes against Munich or Nordic. it's gonna be a
Oh,
massacre.
so week 12, Raiders and Prague fight again, and then week 13, Prague and Frankfurt fight.
So yeah, there'll be some interesting matches coming up here. So we'll have to see how it shakes out. But it looks like there's some clear tiers right now. We'll see if anyone can kind of break through.
So
Uh,
the playoffs look like number one fights number four and number two fights number three,
mm.
which is interesting. But yeah, Prague could easily win their next two games against Tyrol and Frankfurt and get them in. But Paris plays Munich and Tyrol, so they're gonna finish around the 4-6 marking. They're gonna get crushed by Munich.
Yeah, yeah. So that's something I guess we can watch a little bit, through
Yeah,
the
in
rest of the season
in the
there.
finale though, Munich and Nordic play week 13.
Okay.
So Munich did beat Nordic already, but that was like maybe like less than like 7 points around there.
Yeah, that was the one loss between the two teams was that one where they played each other. So, that was bound to go one way or the other there. But I think that kind of covers a lot of what's been going on worldwide. I know you've made some short videos
Yeah, I have.
about the arena football leagues too and
Yeah,
what's going on there. So if that's your cup of tea, if that's what you're interested in hearing about, then check out what Sam has been putting out on that too, because it isn't something we're neglecting. It's just something that is a little bit separate for us here. We try and keep the podcast. We want to keep it interesting, but not necessarily bog it down with one or two or
we want to keep it to
crazy.
only a few leagues per week, and if a
Yeah.
league wasn't as good this week, it's not gonna make the cut.
Yeah, we really don't want episodes that are going over an hour and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Sometimes that works for different people, but for our approach right now,
you also don't seem like you're not the biggest fan of arena football, so I prefer to cover that myself, and I just feel like I cover it better than me and you would, because I know more about it and I'm more educated with the league that I cover.
it's also a case that you have a little more time to
Yeah, I
to
do.
keep up
I have
with
a
it
lot of
too,
time.
and so that's worthy of note. I've been thinking
I
because
mean, I watch a lot of league.
it's interesting. So this time of year, Continental Football League tried to play, and it would have been like the only outdoor football league. Whereas there, how many arena football leagues are there? More than one?
There's a lot.
And so I think it's interesting. I think that at this time of year, I think there's more of a demand for indoor football. People want to stay out of the heat. Like they are happy to watch it, but they want less subjection to the elements.
I mean, right now there are not many arena leagues going on. Maybe two. I know the international arena league's going on. I was thinking about covering that.
What,
It's got teams in like Germany, England.
but as far as American right now,
They
so
got
let me
they got
ask you.
America too.
So let me ask you this. Just from a viewing standpoint, imagine it's the same team, same players, same talent level. Would you rather be indoors where it's more temperature regulated, or do you like being outside, where you have those elements? I mean, you have the breeze, you have the sun, you have the rain. What sounds more appealing to you as a spectator?
I don't want to trash on arena football because I love arena football, but it's a different ball game. It really is. Like shorter field, more scoring, like faster drive, and honestly, to me, it's not what football's about. It's not. It's like a different branch of football, and I prefer outdoor football.
Yeah.
I
It's
just
it's it's like the arcade version of football, I think.
it's fun. It's
And
fun to watch, but like especially if I'm going somewhere, I'd rather go to an outdoor game.
fair enough. Just a thought I had, and so I
Yeah,
wanted to hear your feedback
wheeling
uh,
miners.
on that. Okay, all right. But yeah, so I think that the most interesting for a lot of people here would be our top 10 wide receivers for the upcoming NFL season. I think that it is interesting with receivers. With running backs, I think it changes a lot more every year.
Yeah.
I think there's shorter peaks. I think with wide receivers,
The
Like
peaks are very long.
that you exactly. You can be successful. You can be at the top for a long time.
I honestly, it's just odd because like you're so used to like not wanting to judge a quarterback so quickly, especially after one good season. But people seem to be doing that a lot more recently. But I feel like it's the opposite for running backs. You're supposed to know like when they start to hit their peak, then you know they're immediately going to be good. But I feel like wide receivers, it's also the same with quarterbacks. Like, you can't judge them too quickly just because one good year. And I feel like we're going to see that on my list. So, we're going to do our top 10 wide receivers here.
Yeah, yeah.
So we did quarterbacks, we did running backs, but we're here, episode 9, to do our wide receivers.
So who's number 10 for you if we start at number 10?
So for my number 10, I have so he was leading the league in touchdowns last year. I have Devontae Adams. So he's old, but there's a lot he can offer. And he was that red zone guy. He when he catches the ball, he's keeping that ball. Like he protects it and he's very secure with it. I mean, he's got a lot of years on the job, you know. And he's just that guy for
Yeah,
touchdowns.
I mean, he's got a lot of experience, and how you classify your top 10, really dictates who's going to be there because, like you said, no wide receiver scored more touchdowns than Adams last year.
Even when he got injured.
I think the next closest had 11. So
He had
he had 14.
14, yeah.
So he was by far and away the best when it came
He had an injury too in the season.
to that. I think there's that's a big part of it, but I think there's more to that. But I think, if that's where you want to put him, I think that there's a lot of attributes that he has that can make his argument for that. One of the interesting things about wide receivers too is like with running backs, you are the running back on the team if you're a top 10 running back.
Hmm.
There's some that, you have duos that share the carries, but you're not going to be a top 10 running back if you're in that position. Wide receiver wise, there's a lot of really good duos that we see. And so I think that really um, is interesting because there's a lot of number twos that could make an argument for being at the top of the whole league. So, and I think that's what you see with Adams here is even if he's not on the best on his team, he still has a case for the top 10. But for me, I'm going to go with a familiar name um, in a new setting that I think he's going to benefit from. And that's AJ Green or AJ Brown. I'm sorry.
AJ Green.
Going back a few years with that one, but Brown, I think with May and the Patriots, I think that I think May will love throwing it to him, and I think he'll have an opportunity to get a lot of catches and make the most of them. And I think with that, he's going to have a top 10 year for us here.
All right, well, gonna transfer to my number 9. So I do love the Commander. And with me saying that, you obviously know who I'm gonna say, because I'm definitely not saying Traylon Burks number 9. But I have Terry McLaurin. So scary Terry. He's getting up there in age a bit, but he's amazing. I love the dude. Every time I can pick him in Madden, I do. He is
Hmm.
very reliable. He's fast. He's strong. He's got that. I don't know. I don't want to say aura, but he's got like he is intimidating. Like he's one of the best receivers just to like run his routes. And I do believe that he'll be a top 10.
Yeah,
And I could see him getting like plus like 8 plus touchdowns.
yeah, he's a guy I think a lot of times that's underrated,
Yeah.
but like when given the opportunity, like he's a game changer, and so I think that he's got a real case for a top 10 season here too. For myself, I'm going to go with a Saints wide receiver that really had a great year last year. An Ohio State product, where they have been churning out some of the best wide receivers in recent years. And so Olave is where I'm going here with number 9. Uh,
I do want to say he's definitely getting up there in age, but he definitely is the number one target. But could you put him number 9 seriously with all the injuries? Like he was out for a long time last season.
There are. injury concerns that, over the last few years. Um,
It's like it's not an NFL season if he doesn't get injured.
and that's probably the biggest drawback. But I think that what he's capable of, I think if he's healthy this year, that's number 10 for me. So I'm
Number
going to put him there. And
10,
he's only 26.
you have him at 9.
I'm sorry, number 9. Sorry, you get me mixed up here. I have him at number 9, and he's only 26. So he's really not getting up there in age
Eh,
yet. I'd say give him 6 more years, at least four, before we start
he's
to
not
talk
DeAndre
about his
Hopkins
age.
quite yet.
Exactly.
So then moving over to my number 8. So, uh, the Emerald City Route Artist. So, I know JSN won Offensive Player of the Year last year. But he's still so young, and I don't fully trust him yet. And I could be completely wrong. He could be the best receiver by far again. Um, but I just don't fully trust him right now. And I feel like this is where to put him because it's too early to tell. He's so young. Like wasn't that like his second, maybe third season? I just I don't fully trust him yet. I don't know if he's gonna be good or not.
Yeah, he's still a young guy too, and this was like his first real season emerging to that number one role.
I still I could still see him getting some like touchdowns stole from Cooper Cup, AJ Barner. Like we need to make a video about Seattle. But moving over to your number 8.
Yeah, so for me, the guy I have here is coming back from injury, and so it's a bit of a gamble because you never know how close to 100% guys are when they're coming back. Thankfully, you know, recovery, surgery, rehab, all those things have come so far in being able to give players a chance to continue their careers. Um, so he's coming back from a torn ACL, lateral meniscus repair. It's Malik Neighbors.
He
Uh,
won't be back until like week 4.
and so that's the drawback. I think this guy could be top three if he played a full season.
I
But
don't know about
but
that.
say he misses the first 4 games and plays 13, the guy could still have well over 1,000 yards receiving. I think that this is one of the best wide receivers out there. Um, if he's fully recovered from his injury. So
Honestly, Dart does not have a number 1 receiver really.
so that's my thought on Malik Neighbors, and I do have him in my top 10. I understand if the time that he's going to miss, takes him out of your top 10, but I think he deserves to be there.
Um, so I'm gonna say for 7, I have Devontae Smith. So this is kind of a last minute change. I don't think I told you about this, but
Is
um,
this?
I'm doing Smith.
Oh, I'm sorry. Neighbors is my number 8 then,
Yeah,
isn't it? Okay, I think I
yeah.
said I'm
You're
mixing up
yeah,
all
you're
these
really mixed
numbers.
up.
Brown is 10, Olave 9, Neighbors 8.
So for my number 7,
Yes.
so I have Devontae Smith at 7. So he's a Heisman winner, and I think people forget that. I mean, he was one of the best wide receiver twos in the league. Like, and he's gonna be a great wide receiver 1. Like, honestly, I've never really seen AJ Brown as that number 1 guy. Smith's always there. He always gets it when they need it. He's reliable, and that's exactly what Jalen Hurts needs. Because, getting rid of A.J. Brown, even if he wasn't the best guy, that's still a massive thing to take away. But Smith is going to fill that hole, and he's so terribly underrated. No one, like, believes in him, but I do. I don't like the Eagles by any means. They're, like, one of my least favorite teams. But Devontae Smith, he's going to shock a lot of people.
I think he's good. I think he's got a lot of talent. And I think on another team that he would shine even brighter. I think that I don't think Hurts is a guy that's going to just throw it to one guy where he's going to get 10 catches in a game.
There, like we just did an Eagles preview just a little bit ago, and we did talk about that. We did talk about Wicks, Lemon, Goddard, Smith, Brown, like Hollywood Brown. Like they got a lot of guys in there, but I wouldn't be surprised if Smith had like 1,200 yard like plus that. Like he could have 1,200. Like he could get a lot of yards.
If he
Just
gets the targets, he'll get the production. I my biggest um, my biggest just skepticism is that he's not going to get the ball as often. So that's my thought. We'll see there. So number 7 for me is on the Chiefs, Rice.
this is interesting. Is this your top 10 criminals in the NFL list?
um, I don't I don't know if he would make that list, but he did serve some time over the summer.
Yeah, he just got out
Yeah,
a few
he
days, like a few weeks
they
ago.
they worked that out so that he got to do it during the off season. But I think talent wise, I think that this he showed last year that he can be that guy. I think when you have Mahomes passing it to you, that sets you up for success. I
It's
think.
just I don't fully trust him to stay out of trouble. Like he was in trouble last season and missed a long amount of time. He got in trouble. Like what's he doing? He's speeding.
Mhm.
He's hurting. Like didn't he like hurt someone? Like his girlfriend, like his pregnant girlfriend or something like that?
I,
I don't trust him to stay in line. And even when he's there, he's not even like that good. Like he's
so
decent. He's wide receiver one, but he's not that good.
so that's the thing. I think when he's there, he is that good. I think that you're right to be concerned about the character issues. Those have um, definitely derailed several
I
of his
call it criminal
seasons,
issues.
and there's always the potential for that to happen. He, it's up to him. He needs to make the choice that he's gonna, stay on the straight and narrow and do the right thing. So it's his responsibility at this point to learn from his
I'll
mistakes.
say, if he can stay there and out of trouble and be that wide receiver one, he's gonna get a lot of targets, especially with them trying to revamp their room,
Hmm.
like getting rid of Brown. Even if that wasn't like the biggest thing to a lot of people, that's still kind of big. And Xavier Worthy, I don't care if he's the fastest man in the NFL, he's not that good. I
Yeah,
don't see him as a wide receiver too.
yeah,
He's
I don't
just
think he
fast.
is, and I think Kelsey is, you
He's
know,
past his prime.
yeah, exactly.
He's decent, and I would put him as a top 16 tight end. But even like if I was in charge of Madden ratings, I'd put him at like maybe an 84.
Hmm.
Like just he's definitely taken a hit in production.
Yeah, which just happens.
Yeah,
So that's
7.
7.
Um,
So who do you have here at number 6?
so for 6, I have CeeDee Lamb.
Hmm.
So like I said with the Eagles, I hate the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys. They are probably my third least favorite team. And I picked this from you. You have trained me to hate the Dallas Cowboys. Um,
I'm proud of you.
uh but I will say they have one of the best wide receiver rooms in the league, and we'll see that today because I believe you also have someone on here. But I have Lamb here. He definitely. It's interesting. It's such an interesting situation because he was out with an injury, and George Pickens took over as the wide receiver one, and he was so good. And Lamb came back, and he never really got to take that wide receiver one back. And he's gonna be the wide receiver one going into this year. But it's like he's got a lot to prove. He's got to prove that he is the wide receiver one. And honestly, I don't know if he can do that.
It's interesting because there's 4 or 5 teams where when you put the receivers together, it's not really a 1 and a 2, it's more of like a 1A and a 1B. And I think that's what we see with the Cowboys is that Pickens really blossomed into that uh, dominant number 2 guy. And I think there were games where he had better production, but I think that comes down to sometimes the defense, having to pick their poison. Like, are you going to try and put your best cornerback on Lamb? Or are you going to try and put him on Pickens?
I'll
You
say
know,
what I saw from Lamb last season, it was kind of laughable. All those drops, and I don't want to put it fully on him, but it was just, ooh, I could see him falling to wide receiver too. Like
d
what happened with Cortland Sutton, I believe last season, with Marvin Mims being number one. Like it's a lot
well,
going on.
I don't know about Marvin Mims being number one. He
That's
might,
that's what happened last year.
um,
He's definitely gonna be wide receiver three,
maybe four.
maybe. Maybe
But
if Hakeem Butler. Oh,
as far as it goes here with Lamb, I think uh, he's got a lot of talent. He's got a great quarterback. The Cowboys have a good offense. They want to throw the ball, so I think it's a lot uh, of things that line up for him to have a good season. For me, I've got Amon St. Brown here.
Amon Ra.
Yeah, yeah. I'm on Ross St. Brown. I've got him here. I think he's been consistently one of the best.
Yeah,
Kind of how I felt about Gibbs. Uh, I wanted to see Gibbs get the ball more. I want to see St. Brown get the ball more. Like when the Lions have the
it's just
ball.
the Lions have so many. Like last season,
Yeah,
they had Montgomery, they had Gibbs, they had Laporta, they had Slaw, they had Williams, they had Brown, and there's even more people I didn't name. And before that, they even had like Khalif Raymond. They had everybody. They were stacked, and it's just now
but I
we
think
get to see.
yeah. I mean they have a lot of good players, but I think you still prioritize giving your best players the ball. And there were a lot of times where I felt like there could have been a few more times that they tried to go to St. Brown. And I think if they want to be better this year, that's something they need to prioritize.
Yeah, especially with Tesla only catching touchdowns or like 50-yard catches.
You know,
Because it's like they
he.
each have their idea. Like Williams is the speedy receiver, Tesla's
Mhm.
the one who catches the big passes, and Amon Ra's the one who gets open. It's just they know what they're supposed to do. And it's just somehow Goff finds them open more than he finds Brown open. And I do believe Amon Ra is up there, and I'm so happy that you would put him here because as a Lions fan, that is amazing to hear.
Yeah, I think he's one of the best in the league, and I think if they can treat him like that, then he can help them win games. But let's shift into our top
Five.
five.
So this is pretty funny, but I had Amon Ra at five. So basically, what I said about Brown is,
How you feel?
yeah, that's how I feel, and I agree with what you said. I agree with what you've been saying. I feel like Brown deserves the ball more, but I don't want to just say that. I want him to be able to prove that he is as reliable as we think he is. Because, in such a crowded, crowded offense that the Lions have, you need to stand out. And if he can't stand out, then I'm going to be disappointed. Because they have Gibbs, they're going to be running. But when they're passing, who are they passing to? If it's not Brown, then I'm going to be disappointed. And
I think
if he gets those chances and if he cannot produce, then I'm gonna be even more disappointed.
I think you just have to get him the ball. One way or another, you have to get him the ball, and through that, he's gonna make plays. He's gonna move your offense. You're gonna get more plays throughout the game, and then all of a sudden that opens things up for Williams. That opens it up for Laporta. When everyone is, second guessing, oh, where's St. Brown, where's Gibbs, then that makes it that much easier for the other guys, and you just roll with it. So I think that
There's a
that
lot he can offer.
yeah. So yeah, I agree. We've got him close there, fifth and sixth. So it's kind of funny. My fifth is Lamb. So I know you
Ah,
just had him at six. I've got him slightly higher, number five.
it's
I
like we were very separated with our first five, but now that we're getting here, we're way more like it looks like we're agreeing more.
I think we're getting pretty close on these here. So yeah, I've got him number five. I think he is an exceptional wide receiver. I think that he's really able to put up some of the most dominant games. Like if um, if Dak and Lamb, if he just threw to Lamb all game, Lamb would have 12 catches and 200 yards every game. I think that it's more a case of you know the Cowboys being um, balanced,
Yeah,
where they're gonna throw it to throw it to Lamb, throw it to Pickens, throw it to Ferguson, and really um, spread it around a bit more. But I think Lamb is the best wide receiver, for good and bad. So like he's going to be the one that's going to make the biggest plays. He's going to be the one that has to go against the number one cornerback. But I think when it's all said and done, that it's going to show that he's the best too.
I I agree. I mean a little bit, not all the way, but I we are very distinct. We are we are different people,
Hmm.
and of course that is obvious. But I feel like for the most part we understand each other and how we think in terms of football. But today we are very different. Um, so going for my number four, I have George Pickens. So I have him, like three slots above CeeDee Lamb. So what you said about CeeDee Lamb, I'm saying that about George Pickens. He's gonna be that wide receiver one. He's gonna be targeted the most. Cornerback is gonna be after him all game. He's fast. He's got hands. I just believe that he's gonna take that spot. And what we saw in Pittsburgh, it's even more like a flash and just kind of a spark. But now he's a full flame. He's gonna get the ball a lot, and he's gonna show Pittsburgh what they're missing. Because obviously with Pittsburgh, I I don't think you have anybody on Pittsburgh in this list. No,
No,
George
DK
Pickens could have been
Metcalf,
that.
I think is a little bit outside. He's
Michael Pittman way outside.
a so yeah, I think for me.
Metcalf is far away after he punched that Lions fan. He's off my list entirely.
I think for me, I have a hard time putting two wide receivers in my top 10 on the same team.
I think I did that
I I
twice
th-
today.
I think Pickens is we saw last year, and I think we'll see it this year too. I think he's thriving in the opportunity that Lamb creates for the number two guy. I think that Lamb demands so much attention that it makes things that much easier for Pickens. And I think he'll have a great year. I think that the Cowboys' offense will be explosive. I think they'll put up a lot of points. They'll be fun to watch. And Pickens is going to be a huge part of that. Um, in my opinion, he's the number two wide receiver on the team now.
Um, so that could takes us to three, right?
Well, I didn't do my number four,
Oh,
so that's your number four,
ah,
Pickens.
you
He's
feel a
outside
lot.
of my top 10, but one of the best number two
That is,
guys.
it's honestly surprising that you don't have him there.
For me, number four is Smith and Jigba.
All right, I had him at eight. You,
I
you double or you cut it
so
in half.
I I think that he really became one of the best wide receivers last year. Like he led the league in yards, receiving yards. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of competition for him when it comes to who's going to be getting the ball this year. So I think he's going to be that number one option. They're going to feed him the ball, and he's going to eat. He's going to put up receptions. He's going to put up yards, and he's going to have another year where he's just really running away from the competition. I think that in his case, with the way they play, I think is going to really pad his numbers, really stack his stats.
All right. That's interesting. So I don't fully agree. I don't really trust him yet, like I said earlier. He's
Hmm.
still a little young. But
Could have been a flash in the pan.
I'm gonna throw this at you. I I wanna know. Give me someone before before we get to our top three. I want to see one person you didn't put on your list that you believe is good but wasn't top 10 material. And I'll start while you think. I I thought of Drake London. So I had Drake London on here and I switched him for Smith and I think that's better, but Drake London is definitely going to be a top 12 receiver. He is good, he's young, and the Falcons really need a good receiver if they don't have a good quarterback.
Yeah,
Um so do you have someone in mind?
there's a few that I've thought about. Um,
It's Jacoby Myers.
so there's several number two guys that you feel like could be right there. You know, Higgins, Adams, Pickens. But even if you just automatically disqualify them because they're not even the best on their team, um,
Whoa.
then I'm thinking like you mentioned, Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
I think that that's a guy that's right up there. I think the other one, I think you're right with Smith being, you know, a top end level guy. But I think McLaurin was really the guy that I had that was closest
Yeah.
um, on that front.
Alright. I'd say that's a good I think that's a good person that you'd put around there. Alright, well, I've held you hostage long enough with that, so I'm gonna go to my number three. And for three, I have Justin Jefferson. So Jefferson had a horrible year last year. I want to say horrible. He didn't produce as good as usual, but didn't produce horrible.
Hmm.
Not good by his standards probably, but I mean, what are you gonna do when you have Carson Wentz, Max Brosmer, and J.J. McCarthy, or nine, or whoever it is? Just there's not a lot there. And honestly, if Carson Wentz didn't go down, he should be the starter. Honestly, I don't know what's going on there. I mean, I could see Max Brosmer starting by week two. Um,
Well,
they have Kyler Murray coming into that, and if Kyler Murray is good, that's why I have Justin Jefferson there. Because I feel like Kyler Murray, he's bad, but he never really had a number one wide receiver. I mean, he had Trey McBride. I mean, what? He might have had Marvin Harrison. I mean, we've yet to find out if he's that good, but he hasn't been producing the best. So, I mean, you can't ever look that bad if you have a wide receiver like Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is like a once in like a decade wide receiver that you don't see very often.
hmm,
He is very good,
yeah.
and I'm saying this as a Detroit fan. I do not like Minnesota. I tolerate Minnesota. And I feel like Jefferson is that guy.
And actually, I have Jefferson at my number three as well.
Oh, we
I think
agree.
that he's an all-world talent. I think that what he is capable of is really just not something that most humans are capable
Yeah.
of.
He's got the
I
speed, he's got the strength, he's got everything.
we've seen him have success in previous years, and we kind of saw what not having a good quarterback, how that can make it a challenge. I don't buy into this that Kyler Murray is gonna suddenly find success in Minnesota.
I don't
Um,
I wouldn't say he's very good. I still would put him in the bottom 5 starting QBs. But
he's one
like
of the most frustrating players for me.
I mean he can like you've told me the multiple times he can't even see over the O line. I mean like what are you gonna do when like you're just like you're standing and there's just a ton of big people in front of you? Like you're gonna throw it and he's gonna miss.
Like this is a guy that if he's motivated and if he's focused, he can come in there
He's focused on Call
and
of Duty.
and but yeah, that's the thing. But if he decides, makes the decision that he wants to be one of the best quarterbacks in football. Like that's all he has to do is decide that's what he wants to do. Then, like, he has the ability to do that. There are so many guys out there that have the heart, that have the will, that have the drive, that don't have the physical attributes that he has. And he's so
It's just a little bit of ignorance, I'd say.
he
It's just he
there's a
doesn't.
bit of just not really being that alpha, not being that leader. There's a bit of just not being that motivated to really separate himself. Like I don't buy that he didn't have offensive weapons in Arizona.
I said wide
Um,
receiver.
I mean, as far as the offensive line, yeah, that hasn't been great. Um, but he's a guy that has a lot of tools and a lot of things to work with that didn't make it work. I know we're getting kind of off track here with Jefferson. Um, I don't think that Kyler's going to be a huge boost to Jefferson's production because he still has to see over the O line to be able to throw it to Jefferson. Um,
Jefferson could catch it though.
I think that he can have a better year, and I think he's got the talent to make up for a lot of the um, the things that his teammates lack.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I think that he's still a top three guy here.
Well, we went a little off topic there, so I'm gonna go to number two. So I have Jamar Chase. So I don't like with these top guys. I don't feel like there's much to be said. I don't feel like we gotta hold hold the rest of the video hostage because there's not like we won't have to argue because we know who's good, and I feel like we've both agreed that Jamar Chase is the top guy.
Mm,
Jamar Chase, if he's healthy, he's gonna get the yards, he's gonna get the touchdowns, he's gonna get the catches. When you're playing with Joe Burrow, you're gonna find a way to win. And if you're not, you're gonna find a way to get the ball. He's gonna throw it to a lot of people, but no matter how many people throws it to, he's gonna throw it to Chase double.
right,
He is gonna get the ball and he's gonna get touchdowns. He's gonna get everything. And even if they don't make the playoffs, Jamar Chase doesn't have to walk away disappointed because
right.
he's that good and Burrow's that good. They have a good team on paper. So I have Chase that too, and I don't feel like there's much I need to say about that.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from that. For me, my number two is Puka. I think that he has really just taken off. I think he's an amazing talent, a steal for where the Rams drafted him. I think he's an interesting personality off the field, but I think that the way he plays the game really elevates the Rams offense. Um, and he's really earned his spot here with, really coming in to a spot that wasn't guaranteed. Like, I think it was fifth rounder, sixth rounder. He was a later
He was the
draft
late
pick.
round, I think fifth.
And so nothing was guaranteed, and he had to come in and earn that spot. And, he wasn't satisfied with that. He kept pushing, kept getting better, and he's got that drive and the talent
That
that
Murray needs.
that that is rare,
Yeah,
and he's earned this spot for me. So I've got him there at number two, just with the way that he comes in and shows up.
all right. Well, then it'll take me to one, and I have Puka. So obviously, if you were keeping track, it's very obvious who I had at one up to this point. But yeah, I have Puka here. He's young, he's fast. I mean, like what did we see last year? Anything but spectacular. Like he was just as good as JSN with less games played. Like he was amazing. Like there's nothing to be desired from him. He just if he wants to be my number one, he just needs to stay the same level. I don't see someone exploding and being better than all these guys in one season or one of these guys
If
taking
he
off
just
and being
stays
better.
consistent
Yes,
with how he was last year,
yeah,
then he's going to remain number one for you.
yeah. So that's my number one. And I don't feel like I need to say much about that again because
Yeah.
he's that good.
Well, I think that he is that good. I think that the reason I have Chase number one
It's because you
uh,
like Cincinnati.
is he's going to have a full season of Burrow.
Yeah,
I think that's the
maybe.
combination.
We don't know that
You know,
yet.
I think it's really Chase, Puka, Jefferson. I think they're all extremely close as far
On
as
Rob.
what they're capable of doing. But I think if I look at the three quarterbacks, Burrows is the best. So I think, Burrow's the best. Chase is going to have the best season.
I don't know
They,
if I'd put Burrow above Stafford.
I,
I would
I think
maybe,
the
but
Burrow this year and the Stafford this year, I put Burrow number one. But I think with that, I think Chase will return to what it was 2 years ago, and last year wasn't even bad. But to
yeah.
have Burrow and Chase, I think that he's really just gonna pass Puka again to be the best in the league.
So yeah, that'll do it for the top 10 receivers, and I think that'll wrap it up. I feel like we went a little longer than expected, but it's nice to speak our minds. But yeah, I think that'll do it.
That'll
Any last thoughts?
that'll do it for now.
All right, see you.